everyone, it's your designer off grid, and today's a beautiful day. Actually, it's nice and warm today, so I didn't even need my beanie today, but it covers up my crazy hair sometimes. So right now I'm headed to do a trash run, and then I'm gonna go to meet with one of those other business people that I met at my networking event, and their business kind of complements what I do. So she reached out to say, hey, come by our showroom, and so I'm gonna go check out their showroom. And I know you see from the title of this video that it seems a little scary. And don't be scared, and it's not clickbait, but of course I made the title a little bit more compelling just to garner some interest, but it's the truth. And I'm gonna kind of share the backstory. So before I get into the backstory though, I will start off by saying that besides the leading of the Holy Spirit and just knowing that this is something that I was required to do, there is no way I could not do this moving here, because it was just such a strong sense, such a strong leading in my life, in my mind, in my heart, that I knew it had to happen. And so besides that, one of the most compelling things for me, and one of the things that I was looking forward to the most coming here, is peace. Peace that I don't have to worry about a lot of the things that I used to worry about living in Houston. Now, I had a good life in Houston, please don't get me wrong. My business did well, my children were there, I had a peaceful life. But Yah somehow brought about, things in my life that forced me to make this move that He wanted me to make. And so here I am. So peace was very important to me. So when I came here, I didn't want to worry about anything. Okay? So one of the things that I realized is that putting myself out on the internet through a YouTube channel was going to draw. I knew it was going to draw attention to wonderful people, mostly wonderful people, and I knew a part of me knew. I was hoping it wouldn't happen to me. A part of me knew that there are people too that would not necessarily like what you're doing. I don't want to say words that I don't have any real proof of what their actual feelings are towards me. But from time to time when I get some comments, I would wonder, like, why would somebody say that knowing that it's going to be a burdensome comment for me, or it's going to hurt my feelings, or because I look at myself and I never, zero times have I ever gone onto somebody's YouTube channel or whatever and post something negative just to mess up their day or just to get them. Never have I done that. And I'm not acting like I'm a perfect person. It's just like, to me, I'm like, why? If I don't like what they're saying, I just click away, And so I knew that my channel would attract one or two people who don't like what I'm saying or doing or whatever. And so one of the things that's been happening, and it's in a very micro way, so many people who followed me since the beginning may not have noticed it, and a couple of them have actually removed the comments, but people can actually see that I got a permit for my septic system, so that's very legal, and then I did not pull a permit for the structure, the structure that I built, or the shed, the cabin. I didn't pull a permit for that. And the city or the county rules on that is you kind of have to meet a certain minimum requirement by code, and then you have to have a permanent foundation. You have to have some things done on the inside, and you have to have a site plan and all that. There are just some rules around it. Was I ignorant to the rules? I mean, I guess I was naive in thinking that know, as long as I pull the permit for the septic, I would be okay. And there's a gentleman here, I won't say his name because I did not ask his permission to say his name. He's a wonderful man that lives in the area, and you can see that he cares a lot about people who are moving into the area and just want to be free. They just want to be not burdened down by, you know, government policies and all that, right? And he advocates for people to just kind of do their thing and live their life and not like worry too much about, you know, permitting and all of that stuff. And I love him for that. But and I was kind of going in that path because I'm like, hey, I mean, other people are doing it, I can do it too. But in my comments, I started getting people who were starting to like say little micro things that gave me the impression that they could just pick up the phone and call the county and say, hey, there's this YouTuber who is not doing things by the book. You might want to go check him out. Like, it kind of became very bothersome to me. In fact, one of them, their username, the username that they use on YouTube implies that they would never do something like this. And I don't know if it was a well-meaning comment, but they were just kind of going in about the details of the requirements and what the county can do. And I'm like, maybe this could be a private conversation. You could have shared that privately with me. So I took down those comments because I'm just like, I think this person's trying to stir something up. Because by them saying this, it's going to like plant a seed in somebody else's mind that may not have the best intentions. They're going to say, maybe I can call this in, you know? And so I just could not deal with that whole thought that I could just get that knock on my door any day. And then on top of that, I don't usually remember my dreams. When I dream, I don't remember my dreams. And I dreamt a couple nights ago that there's this YouTube channel that I watch, and I won't say who the channel is either, but a young lady did a video about, I think they're in Cochise County, and she did a video about her permits, that they got approval to, you know, in Cochise County, you can build whatever you want, but you have to kind of go through like a process to opt out of inspections, but you got to follow some rules in order to be able to do that. And so I know that about this particular channel, and I don't know if she did a specific video about permitting. I really don't remember, honestly, but it's her that I saw her in my dream. And she was just telling me, girl, you better go get permits. You better go get permits. Like in the dream, she was just saying that. And maybe it's because it was already on my mind. But in the dream, she was like encouraging me to go get permits. And at this point, many of you know that I've already put in the spray foam insulation. And I sat there one day and I thought to myself, Veronica, this might be the best time to do it. Before you close up the walls, go do it. Because otherwise you're not going to have peace. You're not going to have peace. You're going to constantly worry. In fact, one person wrote, one of the comments, I don't remember if it was on I don't think it was on my page actually. It was on another YouTube channel in the area. They wrote that the counties are now using drones to fly in and see what you have on the property, and they are going to then come visit you or whatever. And so I don't know whether any of these things are true, or whether even these people live in the county to even be saying these things, okay? So that's not at all what I'm saying. I'm just talking about the feelings that got stirred up in me because of these things. Now, and so I don't want to assume anything, and I wanted to just be in peace. I wanted to be at peace. So I decided to pick up the phone and call the county and ask for the building inspector. And I got, and you know, nice lady that answered the phone. The building inspector called him, very nice man. And I explained to him, I said, I got a permit for my septic. I wasn't fully aware of most of the permitting process. I thought that was enough. I know you can put something up to 160 or 120 square feet without having to get permits. But anything after that, you have to get permit. If it's a shed light bind, you do need to get meet a minimum requirement for the city codes and the building codes, and then get it inspected and all that stuff. And so I'm talking to the man, and he's just like, okay, I need to come out and see what you have. And I was just like, oh my gosh, that's the last thing I want, for the county inspector to come to my property. And so we scheduled it, and I was a nervous wreck. I really was a nervous wreck. I prayed. I went to Yah and said, Yah, you sent me here. I would not even remotely have considered moving to Arizona if it wasn't something you put on my heart. Please, Yah, fix this. Please fix this. And so he comes out, and he's a very nice man. Like I said, he was very nice on the phone, very nice in person as well. And he's walking the property, and he's just pointing out a couple of different things that I need to do to get things in order. And so he wrote me a little list of things. Well, it was so minimal. It was so minimal. And so I was able to take care of I've started a process of taking care of those things. Now it's going to cost me a little bit of money, because I do have to file for permit, pay for fees. And then I also have to, some of the little things I have to do is going to cost me a little bit of extra money, but it's nothing close to what I was thinking. No fines, no nothing. And now I have a peace of mind that I don't have to worry about it anymore. And as I was there talking to the man, because like I said, he was a very personable person, I was there talking to him. He was telling me that the county over, just one county over, he said that he knows for a fact right now that they're using drones for real. So that is a fact. They're using drones, and I don't know if they're getting suspicions or what it is. I won't say the name of the county that he told me, but anybody here can probably figure it out. They're using drones to go in, and they're just hiring companies, he says, with drones to go in, to fly in, see what you have on your property, and then they're gonna send you letters or whatever they do. So I said to him, that county has the resources, but my county, this county, doesn't have that resources, because that's my understanding, that this county does not have a ton of resources to be doing that. He says they're probably going to be starting that. They're probably going to be doing that. They have enough resources that they could do that. And just kind of remember, you can get a drone for like $200. So I said to myself, you know, Veronica, I believe in what a lot of people believe, that there is a lot of overreach. There's a lot of intervention from government that may or may not be necessary, you know. And, you know, I would love to live my life without having to worry about having to pull permits just to poop, okay? But I also realize that I live in a land that has rules and laws and stuff. And I guess I should abide by them as best as I can. And I just want that peace, that I don't have to worry about somebody coming to knock on my door. One of the things I said to the man, the inspector, this morning, I said to him, so you mean that if they don't get you today, they can get you tomorrow? So it's not that, it could be that, okay, yeah, I can get away with it. But you never know when things will change, and they're going to enforce things that they weren't enforcing before, or using that as leverage to get you. So I'm just like, you know, Veronica, just take care of it. So I'm glad I made the call, and I feel at peace now that I just need to do all of what he told me, follow up with him, and then once appliances and everything are in, I will get my final certificate of occupancy. And like I said, the list of things was just so minimal compared to what I thought it could have been. So I encourage people who are watching and you're thinking about moving into an area, I encourage you to understand what the rules are, and at the very least, understand what the risks would be if you decided to do your own thing what you can live with and what you can't live with. And I just, like I said, if I hadn't done that, if I hadn't made the call, I would never be at peace. I would always be worried that they're gonna come knocking on my door. I know I don't have to worry about that. So so take that for what it's worth. I'm not telling anybody what to do. You make your own decision. But and I respect anybody's decision. But I did what I did for my own peace of mind. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so I will tell you a couple of the rules that I'm aware of before I called the inspector to come by. I went and looked up the rules for a shed, for putting a shed on your property. And my understanding, okay, so please don't quote me on any of this stuff. Go research for yourself. One, it has to be on a permanent foundation. Two, you need to have the structure itself needs to be able to withstand a certain, I think 115 miles per hour wind. So you can achieve that by hurricane ties. They recommend some hurricane ties. Then it needs to, the snow load needs to be, I think, 30 PSF or something. And I think they require like a solar inspection as well. But the solar company usually does that, I think, anyways. Reading it, in fact, I didn't see anything on the list of things from the county, as far as I remember, about solar or electrical. But I think it says up to the minimum standard of the building code. So I think that's included in the building code. So you might want to go double check on stuff like that. And then the flooring has to be a certain thickness. I want to say 5/8 of an inch thick. I don't quite remember. But if you go to the county website and just Google and just put search, or you can just search and Google the county name and requirements for tiny home, actually not even tiny home, requirements for shed to home conversion. That's what you want to search, and it will take you directly to a page that has a link to a document that outlines that. So I'm not remembering exactly everything right now. I just remember that the permanent structure, the PSF for the snow load, the wind 115, I don't remember if it was 115. I just remember the wind speed and all of that. So so definitely go check that out. Not giving advice or anything here, because my memory is just not the best, okay? But it's there on their website what the minimum requirement is. And so I'm glad, because I mean, remember, I'm getting ready to sheetrock. So that was my big fear, is that I need to call him now. I need to do it. If I'm gonna do it, it needs to be now, because once I sheetrock, he can't see behind the walls. And so that fear, those messages that I received on my page were enough for me to say, you know what, people are peopling right now. And they had that power over me. Somebody on the internet, just by me sharing my YouTube channel, sharing my life, somebody has the power to pick up the phone and turn me in for just existing, for just living. But knowing that because I don't plan to shut down my channel because of people's negativity, which I don't get. Don't get me wrong, I don't get negativity, okay? I'm just saying it could potentially come as my channel grows. I'm pretty sure it's going to attract more and more people. And so for me, I thought about it. Somebody has the power to pick up the phone and turn me in for just living on my land. And I refuse to live like this. And so I'm just going to do what I need to do. And that was the time to do it. I had that small window of time before I put the sheetrock on to do it. And so I did it, and now I feel peaceful. I feel like I have made the right decision for me. And I'm not telling anybody what their decision needs to be, but I feel like I made the right decision for me. So I got the St. Logic installed right now, and this is where we decided to put it for now, so we could get enough breeze and wind, and it's not blocked by the building or anything like that. So I have it up there, and I'm gonna go look at the indoor unit now to see what it's saying. I think I successfully paired them, because if you look at the instructions, very clear on how to pair them, and I think I followed them pretty well. So we shall see. So I just plugged up my new St. Logic, and I think I have it paired with the exterior unit. Man, this screen is so bright. You can see it from very far away. I still need to do some setting on it and experience it for another couple days or so to really understand it. But I'm loving the screen so far, because somebody like me who doesn't see very well, but you can see that it shows everything from, I don't even know some of what it's saying here, but like I said, I just plugged it up, but it shows the rain, how much rain that you're getting. It shows, of course, the date and time. Looks like you can snooze it. You can set an alarm on it. And of course, it shows the temperature. And I think, what's that, 35%? Not quite sure what that is yet. But like I said, I just plugged it up, got it installed outside, and I'll for a day or two and kind of just see. But like this, it tells you everything, like the gust of winds and the speed of the wind. And this is good to know, because right now I find myself like in the middle of the night, I turn off my EcoFlow at night, and sometimes I want to know what the temperature is at night. And if I get up and I pick up my phone, there is no signal, and so I have to turn the EcoFlow back on to understand what the temperature is outside. And so this is just like looking up and seeing, because it comes with you can put batteries in it, or you can have it plugged in. So so this is going to be very, very helpful to know the temperature outside and inside as well too. Completely understand that there are people here who have that mindset of not involving the county in things. And I hate to say it, it's not like I came here with that predetermined stance. I really didn't. Because I just thought that, okay, I definitely know I need to get the permit for my septic, but for the house thing, I think that should be fine, you know? But I just could not handle the thought, and I guess because I went public, you know, and of a YouTube channel, but just the thought of some random person on the internet implying, because it wasn't ever stated to me that, oh, I could just call the county on you. Like, it wasn't ever stated like that, but I could see the micro. It's like I could sense it. I could sense that almost there was like an implied, I have that power over you. And I couldn't live with that. I could not live with that. And then I watched John from Frugal, I think his name is John, Frugal Off Grid. And he was talking about his certificate of occupancy that he got. And one of the things he said just hit me so hard, because I think that's what I was trying to say without saying those exact same words. He was like, I don't want to be 85 years old and be in my house and somebody come knocking on my door and kick me out, you know. And I'm like, shoot, I never even thought about it that way, because I mean, I did kind of think I don't want somebody to just come knock on my door, but I didn't think about it when I'm at an old age and I cannot do anything for myself at that point. And just remember this, laws change, people transition out of departments, and you know, you're not necessarily going to be grandfathered into new laws that come about, especially if you were breaking the law to begin with. And for me, it was never about paying extra in property taxes. It was never about that. It was more just about, okay, I think we're fine, and I didn't explore deeper to make sure I was actually fine. I was just doing it because everybody else was doing it. And that's never a good reason to do something. And so I know that this is like not popular here for people to, um the first instinct is to go get full permits for everything that they're doing. But I can tell you this, I have such peace of mind right now that now I've not even gotten my COO yet, but I'm doing taking all the necessary steps and the measures and all the revisions that I need to do to get it. So that does not hang over my head, and I can live here in peace. I came here for peace, and I don't want the internet to have that power over me where they can see what I'm doing and maybe somebody just does not like it, or it just doesn't sit well with somebody just for whatever reason, and they have that power to make that phone call. Now I know I have my no trespassing sign on my property. I know I have rights, but people can make your life miserable if they want to. So I'm sorry to be having this conversation right now, but like I said, and I'm actually glad that that prompting came when it did, because I did that before the walls got closed up. And that's what, as I mentioned earlier, that in one of the previous videos I did, that was that small window of time that I had to make that decision. Are you going to keep doing what you're doing and just take the chance and risk it all? Or are you going to do it now without, before the wall gets closed up? So I had that small window of time. And as I mentioned, I feel so much freer doing that. So, and I'm just like, this is how I know Yah is leading. There's, I've taken the time to acknowledge, I've taken the time to be thankful and be grateful for what Yah is doing. Because as I was making that call, I'm gonna try not to cry. So I called the main office, and I spoke to the I guess that's like the assistant, the admin for the department, and I explained to her why I'm calling, and she told me who I need to speak to, and she gave me his cell phone number, because she said he's out in the field a lot. And when I dial his number, I dial *67 first. You guys remember *67, so you can block your number so nobody sees it. Because I'm like, depending on his tone, I may not even go through with this. And just talking to the man on the phone, I just said, shalom, shalom. That's what I heard in me, peace, peace. And I had that peace, and I explained to him exactly. At first I didn't get him, and I didn't leave him a voicemail, because like I said, I didn't want him to know my phone number, because of course leaving your phone number is a dead giveaway, right? So I tried him again later on that day, again *67 before my number, and this time he answered. And when I explained it to him, and he was just like, okay, well, I need to come out there and take a look, and and I was very nervous about that, but just something inside of me, just stilled my heart and gave me peace. Because maybe somebody watching this will be like, well, Veronica, it's not a big deal, it's not as dramatic as you're making it seem. Okay, fine, maybe you're right, but I do know this, that when you don't go according to the process from the very beginning, there could have been fines involved. There could have been, hey, you need to put in this big expensive thing, or you need to start over, or whatever. So I was kind of having all kinds of scenarios in my mind, and just set it at ease. And sent me somebody who's so peaceable. Now I will tell you this. So on the phone, as I was talking to him for the very first time, and he says he needs to come by and take a look, I jokingly, because normally I don't joke with people like that, especially on a business call, I jokingly said to him, you're not gonna come give me all kinds of fines now, are you? And he's like, no, I'm not one of the mean ones, or something like that. He joked it off. So And it turns out that this man is just like a nice, peaceable, reasonable person who just wants to be fair. He just wants to be fair. And that's all I wanted. I wanted to do the right thing, but I did not want somebody who's going to come and, you know, lord over me with the power that they have, or lord over me. What's the word I'm looking for? Lord over me with the power that they know they have. That's what tends to happen. With a little bit of power comes all kinds of things, and that's not at all. It's just been great. So I'm gonna end it here, and I will do another video later on when everything is like settled and completely legal.